Ms. Anuradha Thakur with a green certificate. Thank you so much. May I now invite Secretary, Department of Expenditure, Mr. Varun, for his address.
Good morning to all, and it's a real pleasure to be here in front of all of you. Good morning, and it's a real pleasure to be here in front of all of you. I start with warm greetings to the President of FICCI, Sri Anand Goenka. Greetings also to the Senior Vice President FICCI, who is on the dais, Sri Vijay Shankar, and the Director General of FICCI, Ms. Jyoti Viz, who is conducting our program, and all the distinguished participants in this FICCI program, and also my greetings this morning to my colleagues from the Ministry of Finance, who have been working tirelessly in this entire budget making exercise. It's an honor for us to be interacting with the group from the FICCI. We are extremely happy with the budget that has been announced by the Honorable Finance Minister, and just a few words that I may like to share with all of you. I start by highlighting the focus on fiscal prudence that the government has placed in drafting, in finalizing this union budget, and the focus on that fiscal prudence, the macroeconomic stability that we are able to maintain, not just in this immediate period, but for the last some years now, I think is something which stands us in good stead, especially at a time when the global environment has so many uncertainties. The things like that, inflation is moderate. It may not be headline grabbing, but really for all of you from the industry, for us from the governmental sector, it's something which is really important at a time like this. The fiscal deficit being within the glide path that has been announced by the government, our ability to abide by that, and our ability to provide the resources where the programs and projects require them. I think these are all very important. I'd like to start with that. And the summary of all that is to say that our stewardship of the public monies is taken with utmost seriousness. I think in one sentence, that is what I'd like to assure to all of you from industry, from private sector, that is something we look at, we work with utmost seriousness. Our stewardship of the public monies. Where the funds are required, where the funds are justified, we provide, and where they are not required or where they may not be justified, they are not provided. So that very clear-headed approach is something which has been guiding the budget making, which is the guidance we get from the higher levels, and that is what I think will really carry the country forward as we have the aspiration for the FICCI Bharat. Second point, the capex was mentioned, and indeed capex is again, I can say, a second pillar in the budget making process that is very much in a clear focus. The provisions have gone up, and that is based on the very satisfying outcome that we have seen in the various infrastructure sectors that have been supported over the last several years, and we are confident that those infrastructure sectors are geared up, will be able to build up the infrastructure that our country much requires. And in fact, beyond what we do directly at the central government level, if you read the details, we also provide support to the states for their capital investment, what in short we call the SASCI, SASCI, and that has also been hiked up to rupees 2 lakh crore this year. And it not only provides the 2 lakh crore rupees directly to them, but also incentivizes them to prioritize capital investment with their own resources. So we give an incentive when they increase their capital investment from their own resources by 10% every year. So it's a multiplier kind of effect that we are looking at on capex. And really, when we talk capex, it's something where all of you from private sector and all of me and my colleagues from public sector work together. Even in its simplest, even in EPC projects, it's a private party and a public party that works together. And in fact, as of today, we look at much more complex partnerships where we have sharing of financing, we have sharing of the risks, and sharing of the various other maintenance responsibilities, quality responsibilities, and many other things. So the CAPEX program is really something where we really value the contribution that all of you have done, and we are confident that that is something we will move ahead very successfully with. my third and last point, in the years past, when the budget speech is made, probably for all of you, your focus is really on part B of the budget speech, where all the taxes and those matters are brought up. But I would urge you that now is the time, and that it will be something that will miss if you don't focus on the part A. Because part A today really reflects the intention of government to work together with private sector, to work together with industry, to work together everyone. There's a whole of country kind of an approach. So just to give an example, you may wonder, let's just mention one, for example, in the Semiconductor Mission 2.0, which was announced in the budget this time. If you go back and think of the Semiconductor 1.0, where government from its side provided 76,000 crore rupees, was really a support to the industry. It was an offer to the private project proponents to come forward with semiconductor projects, and they have come forward. Different states have supported, land has been provided. In fact, states have even supplemented the financing, and really in that part A budget announcements, there has been a very promising public sector and private sector partnership and several others which are there. So really, I end by urging all of you to look at the part A of the budget speech. In fact, not just of this year, maybe you'd like to go back to the last year's budget speech, part A, and there are so many things where all of us can work together, a whole of government, a whole of country approach as we move confidently towards our Viksit Bharat ambition. So thank you very much, all the best.
Indeed, expenditure is the toughest job that you have in the government, because you have to spend very carefully. And thank you for sharing your insights.